I think when...
Bang able to do more damage before he even gets his Sork shoes, because one of Rumble or Vlad is going to be in the front line, is doing damage and getting that aura down.
Yep, and now the Baron setup begins pretty early in this game for a Baron setup, but it's just about that 3 towers to none right now for SK Telecom. They've been able to just harass the outer ring with their earlier siege with the Trinity Force. And also, EasyHoon's relentless lane pressure in the early game. A lot of the credit should go to EasyHoon here for how much he did out of the laning phase.
Yeah, I mean, he's been putting out so much pressure, and again, I mean, when you play that Ahri against really anyone, you are playing on a pretty short clock. If you don't get an early pressure advantage, the enemy will eventually catch back up to you, and especially when it's someone like Vladimir. I mean, he's 106 now, 40 CS ahead of his counterpart, and has Will the Ancients top of an Abyss Scepter, and will soon get his Zhonyas. He's gonna be unstoppable as we go into the 30-minute mark in a few minutes. Fury finally has that eye on top of the static shiv, so some wave clear coming out from him, some damage, especially since they don't have too much armor on the other side, but that only matters if he can get into the fight.
Yes, indeed. Well, it's a lot of milling around the Baron right now. They
no
have
flash.
TP advantage.
And they saw that, so they're just going to go ahead and knock him back with the Twisted Advance. And there's the teleport coming in. He already used his... Oh, and he will complete it at the very end, just teleporting just a couple feet back with about 300 health.
Yeah, but the Baron already started by SK Telecom quite a while ago, actually. They're trying to burn it down. Tom taking quite a few hits.
He's just going to knock EasyHoon back. EasyHoon has to use the pool to escape, and he just uses his ultimate unbreakable will to escape out of that one. Hemoplay comes through, forces him back, but now the rest of Samsung has grouped up, so SKT is going to have to give this one up for now.
Well, Vlad wasn't there for a lot of that Baron attempt. SKT making the right call, and Samsung countering nicely. CuVee getting up after that attempted gank. The shot calling from Samsung has actually been pretty good on what to do against SK Telecom in this situation. They nullified that TP advantage, and now CuVee is going to have his teleport up in just a matter of seconds. Will SKT try and focus him down, make the play onto the TP split pusher without giving up that Baron?
Yeah, you know, I'm trying to figure out how many times EasyHoon has used his flash, if at all, this game. Because, I mean, he
used it in the first Dragon fight.
All right, the first one. That's what I thought.
He flashed forward when Bang Valve.
Oh, right, yeah.
During the chase.
But other than that, I mean, he's been so safe by just using the Ghost to get that extra damage and the mobility. He's been able to pull, and he can therefore pull pretty liberally early on, because he can rely on that flash to get out of emergency situations if he needs. And that says a lot about just how these teamfights will continue to look for SKT.
Well, here come Fury and Eve, but they are spotted out by a pink ward in the brush. And that means Marin's just going to recall. Let Samsung get their first turret in the game. He's not concerned. They still have a major lead here. And with the Dragon up in 14 seconds, frankly, they'll be happy to see 3 people on the top side.
Yeah, and Samsung looking for a pick, but they're not really going to find one. I mean, Marin shows up just to put the equalizer down. Yeah, that's going to stop the shove in, and only 2 seconds left on that Dragon. SKT is going to get a free Dragon here at 27 minutes, puts them at 2 stacks. And yeah, Samsung finally realizing what's going on. They ping that top side, but no minions. I mean, how are you going to take it? Sure, you can try to tank it, but SKT's done with the Dragon by now.
You have to wait for a long time on that. Wolf is going to recall. They're going to try and make a play onto Crown, valking in, forcing that Spirit Rush to be used, and they can just push mid and respond with a tier 2 of their own.
Yeah.
Not really a way that now that Crown's ult is down and he's chunked out for them to defend a tier 2. It's already very low. Bang is going to stay there while they defend the inhibitor turret. Everyone else going back. Bang, the one designated, take down the tower.
Yeah,
he's going to get it.
Eve is here though, so he slows down Bang, and Bang's going to put down the Phosphorus Bomb, denying Crown any extra damage. Eve has to back out though. Look at the poke coming back out from Bang. A little too dangerous. Again, Crown, if you had that Spirit Rush, that would have been an easy kill onto Bang.
But they felt absolutely comfortable letting Corki sit there, considering the circumstances. Wraith looking
just
for
love
the
his
Moby
flanks.
boots.
He's marching forward. The flash is available for Bang, and there is the headbutt and the pulverize. So leading into the charm. Bang staying a little too long after Eve distracted him.
Take the tower, then leave. Go through the enemy jungle if you have to. Marin was busy pushing up the bottom wave that entire time. So it's going to be pretty safe for you on the bottom side of the map, even if you walk through a scary dark jungle, considering you knew that all of them were just in the top side. So a bit of a mistake there from Bang, not choosing the safest pathing to where his top laner was under those circumstances.
Well, it's just the bane of being an AD carry. So often do you not see the ideal path of escape. You only see enemies you can kill. Numbers to add on your scoreboard. As Marin, I mean, he's completely stabilized by now ahead in CS 4-1-2. Has that Rylai's on top of the Abyssal Scepter. The Rumble Vladimir synergy is complete, really. Zonia is now there for EasyUn also.
That's huge. The Rylai's combined with the pool from Vladimir underneath them, you can stack up so much AoE damage.
Yeah, and then the Hemo play, the Equalizer. I mean, if Samsung groups wrongly just one time, they're going to all get deleted by 2 champions on the enemy side.
Yeah, as you mentioned too, the Corki missile is also going to be piling on, even though there is a locket already. Eve prioritizing that naturally against the massive amount of AP on SK Telecom after finishing his Warrior enchantment.
Yeah, but this is just such a safe way to play that Corki because he does have a very short auto attack range. Rarely are you relying on that for the damage, but this guarantees that, in fact, you are just going to do more damage from afar with your rockets.
I'm very impressed with how much Samsung got better during the offseason. Their shot calling and map control has improved tremendously. Even though they fell behind in some of these team fights, they got outplayed around the SK Telecom power spike, something that SK Telecom is very good at doing to teams these days. Ever since then, their damage control to prevent SKT from taking that Baron or taking unreasonable leads out of a split push has been deftly turned away by Samsung Galaxy.
Yeah, only, 6K, it's quite a bit, but compared to the 5K burst that SKT got earlier after the Dragon fights, as Samsung has stabilized a decent amount. Fury going in onto EasyUn. There's a charming knight onto the Vladimir. Culling coming out, and can he get the damage onto EasyUn? EasyUn doesn't find the right angle of escape, and Fury picks up the kill. What a good combo between Crown and Fury.
Fury is so good at hitting the culling. That's something that we've seen from his Lucian play for the last several months, ever since he got back into the professional team, of course, formerly on Prime. And his dashing forward on Lucian, his aggressive use of his ultimate has really paid off, and he got a perfect angle right there.
Yeah, EasyUn really wasn't escaping that. EasyUn used Ghost too, and that's why he was slightly ahead.
EasyUn could have lived if he had used Flash.
If he had used Flash, yeah, that's true.
He got a little bit greedy, and Fury barely got that kill at the end of the culling, so EasyUn just a miscalculation right there.
Yeah, I think EasyUn also miscalculated how much longer he had left on the culling, because EasyUn kind of stopped his escape. He had Ghost, so he was missing 1 or 2 shots in the middle there because of the movement speed difference. But eventually Fury still picks it up. He keeps his culling lined up to the very end, so credit to him. 4-1-1 now. So Fury, although had a rough start, he's now just doing completely fine, even in gold with the enemy Corki, and is going to start to hit very hard as that AD power. And Tom finally building some armor, and now also has a Hornet's Mail, so that's pretty good news, but doesn't have the complete Frozen Heart yet.
Samsung can keep getting back in this game too, as long as they make picks.
Yeah.
They have all the tools to do it. Samsung has a lot more wards on the map at the moment. They have good vision control. They can absolutely punish a member of SKT should they get out of position. And if they can take another turret down here, they have 2 outer ring turrets. That's going to put them within a very reasonable striking distance in terms of global gold to get back into this game. And they can move through them pretty quickly right now. Jonas Shield coming in, but still some damage applied to that tier 1 tower.
Yeah, Corki showing up in time to help clear out that wave is going to matter quite a bit. But 30 seconds left on Dragon. Samsung starts to get some vision around the Dragon Pit, and this time they're going to have that advantage. CuVee has that teleport, so does Marin. So both of them are in the top lane. Marin just going out to make sure that CuVee doesn't get too much of a shove in towards the inhibitor turret in top. Those are the only 2 turrets going down in favor of Samsung at the moment.
And this Maokai, I'm starting to get very scared of if I'm on SKT, because he's going to be able to tank out the damage from SKT so efficiently here. Vladimir, of course, does great sustain damage, but that damage reduction from Maokai and the fact that he is stacking up more MR means that... Okay,
yeah,
like we have a flank.
Marin's ready for a really good equalizer if he gets it. He's just hiding in the brush. And is it coming down? Fury's across the wall, so Fury's completely out of the fight, and Bang goes in with the Blade of the Ruin King. He's going to chase him down with the flash, and Bang gets an easy kill. Marin, job well done, just backs out, draws the entire Samsung team away from the Dragon Pit. And CuVee is just too late. Didn't find an angle to use his teleport because of the pinch coming in from SKT.
Well, he was trying to walk down, but SKT was already set up. They preemptively teleported, had Marin there just waiting in the brush. And again, Marin gets a great separation equalizer to just keep Fury off of his team. CuVee now having to run quite a long way, gets the smash down onto Bang, and slows him up enough to escape. He has TP if he wants to go onto this Baron with the crab there. Not really sure SKT is going to be able to secure that objective.
Yeah, I mean, they still don't have eyes on Eve. Marin doesn't have his teleport anymore. They know that CuVee still has his, so I think it definitely wasn't worth the risk. They're actually just going to go ahead. CuVee coming in with the home guard, easy and right there. There's the explosive cask on top of the pool to deny that, but Righteous Glory onto Tom with the twisted advance. They will pick up 1 kill onto the Gragas. Wraith goes in to make sure Bang doesn't do too much damage to his teammates, and twisted advance back in onto 3 people. Crown comes in with the Spirit Rush. He's doing a lot of damage, but there is the exhaust. And Bang coming in, he's out of mana. Ezreal had to use his Zonius. Fury has rejoined. He's at full health. There's the equalizer. Does quite a bit. Fury doesn't have a way to escape. He has to walk all the way around. And that's going to be the end of that fight for now. But Marin's not done yet. He knows he can do quite a bit of damage. He's going to try to harass Eve. Eve will still pick up the Raptors.
Marin.
All right, he will get out. The ward saves him as Fury finds 1 target first. Marin is sitting on a ward, though.
Culling.
And, all right, well, the angle there, it is a little rough. He had to get the first hit right on, and Eve, of course, already used her ultimate.
All right, well, SKT does escape from that, but as far as trades go at this point in the game, Samsung doing quite well for themselves in order to grab a kill and then keep the fight rolling. Fury's actually pretty strong in this game. The big difference is with EasyHoon, actually. It's on about a 2K gold lead, and now that he's got that voice app, he really needs a Zhonya's Hourglass to help out against Fury, though.
Oh, and Tom comes in and forces the Unbreakable Will from Wraith. Thankfully, no one from Samsung getting stunned by the body slam, but that's a very important ultimate use from Samsung.
Yeah. QSS now for Fury also, trying to... What is he trying to QSS? I guess Chemo Blade.
Yeah. I mean, I think that's the main concern. Sure, you can QSS the slows from Rumble or something like that, but the biggest thing here is damage amplification, especially for the rockets.
Could be for exhaust, too.
That also. Yeah, so I mean, there are all these other combinations that he wants to QSS for sure.
Yeah, they're probably going to exhaust Ahri, though, so that's not as much of a concern. The QSS here is a little odd, but at least it gives him some MR as well against a majority. That's probably the most important thing is the MR, actually.
I think, yeah, and on top of that, it builds into a damage item at the end instead of a Banshee's Veil, where you know that you have to carry all the damage burden late game for Samsung.
Still trying to get this turret right now. This would be another outer turret for Samsung if they could.
Should be able to get it here with Fury, using his passive wisely, and they'll just chunk it down. So Samsung's still basically keeping up in this game, and like you mentioned, Monty, if they keep just getting 1 or 2 kills each fight and then backing out, or getting those picks on the sides for SKT, they could very well win the game. And SKT, on the other side, of course, has been playing around that very well. They've been setting up the flanks first with Marin with the equalizer. So if the equalizers keep up like that, Samsung's going to have a hard time getting the fight they want.
The main problem with SKT is that their warding really hasn't been very good this game. They constantly find themselves in situations where they can get picked off. They are outplaying their opponents a little bit. Looks like Wraith not going to have to pop the Unbreakable Will. A little bit of a dicey situation, but not punished for it.
Oh, a nice equalizer just to get some damage onto Samsung. Pops the locket, but that's all about it. I mean, they weren't really set up to go forward with the damage, so that also just doubling as a vision check and forcing Samsung out of there so that SKT could go in and get some vision back. Of course, equalizer, relatively low cooldown. If you're pretty confident you don't have to fight anytime soon yet. Dragon's still a minute 40 left. Marin using that to gain some vision on the top side.
I don't get why Marin is trying to actually pull up that equalizer right now. SKT has teleport advantage. They should definitely be split pushing at the moment and trying to make the most out of it instead of awkwardly ulting in the jungle on something that the rest of the team can't really follow up on, especially since they didn't have deep enough wards to really pull that off. I think that this is definitely the better call. Look at that tier 2 in the bottom side. Set your sights on that objective and then force CuVee to be down there when he can't respond as well as you can to some Baron pressure.
Yeah, we see the pings going down from Samsung, but really who's going to go answer that at this point? They are pretty concerned about the Baron. CuVee has still some time left on his teleport. Now the turret is pretty healthy, but it's a pretty big mini wave, and it'll keep stacking up.
His TP will be back by the time he gets down there to clear out that wave. So that's actually some pretty good timing. Marin designated to clear out this very large wave in the top side. And you remember the laning phase. Look at the CS differential between Marin and CuVee now after how far behind Marin was earlier on. It's because he's just been pushing and pushing this entire game and been the one to take all of that farm.
Yeah, what a monster, and he's always been a really good split pusher, but the big difference here is that his teleports have improved immensely since they joined into one team under SKT T1, and he's been able to really have a presence in the team fights. Wolf's going to get caught by Fury, but doesn't take too much damage thanks to Eye of the Storm with that shield, and also Fury not getting the full hit because of the very quick movement speed from Wolf.
He's lucky he didn't get super chunked out right there. Dragon is live. SKT has a positional advantage, but no Crab. Speed Shrine in favor of Samsung.
Rocket's already doing some damage onto Wraith, and Wraith is really concerned about that Vladimir flank too right now. Wraith is very busy. He needs to look on both ends of the fight constantly along with CuVee.
CuVee's going for a teleport flank here. They want to fight this.
All right, well, Eve's also there. Eve has a really good flank, but he's way too far ahead of the entire team. There comes CuVee from the side, and Eve is pretty tanky, so CuVee shows up. Bang doesn't get the kill. CuVee now, Righteous Glory is done, but there's the Ghost coming in as Marin now shows up from the side, and he gets some good harpoons. There is a beautiful equalizer. Wraith has been completely separated. Oh, he might still be able to get out, though. He flashes out, and Fury now free to do damage onto Marin. Marin just jumps onto him with that Flame Spitter, and there's the slow coming in from Wolf. Easy and gets snared in the back. Fury pretty low, has to use that QSS to run away, and oh, Marin uses the Zonias at the very end. Can they secure the kill? Nice Monsoon to secure that. Tom, meanwhile, on the side of the fight at the very bottom, picks up a kill onto Eve. Everyone low on Samsung. Easy and looking for a chase. No summoners on either side. Fury should be able to dash out at the last minute. 4 Dragon Stacks for SKT. Uh-oh, Bang's looking for a rocket. I think Bang flashed into the wall right there. He just wanted to auto that for the kill, but Bang's just going to move on up. Still not find an angle onto Crown. Bang a little greedy with that flash.
And that could have been such a good engage from Samsung had Eve waited about 2 seconds more for the TP to come in from CuVee. It was a timing issue that caused Eve to really blow his ultimate early and for CuVee not to be able to find the flank. So pretty poor execution from Samsung. That's going to result in a Baron. If we just look at this, well, we missed the big mistake here from Samsung, and Tom sticks onto the Dragon. He tries to get it. Tom, not going to have any of that, just smites it away. Eve tries to flash out, and there is a flash from Tom.
Nice play from Tom.
Just to bounce him back, too. That was a really good play.
Yeah, well done. And of course, the rest of the fight is just a long chase onto Fury where they don't get a kill. But yeah, you know, and that's the thing with flanks we always talk about, is that it requires so much precision timing, because if you mess up, what else we saw happen was then Eve has to back out, drawing the fight even further away from his team, and it's just really not an ideal fight at all for Samsung.
Well, Easy Hoon has 833 AP, which because of Vlad's passive means that he also has 3,400 HP.
Beautiful.
And nobody's going to be killing him anytime soon.
Yeah, this is the problem you face with Vladimir, is that you can't kill him anytime soon, but he does sustain damage, so you can't let him live for too long either. Which is a catch-22 at that point. And Bang will just constantly be doing damage from the side. But again, I mean, the improvement for Samsung is very notable for sure. They had the right idea at the last Dragon Fight 2. They had a really good setup. Again, just a slight timing miscommunication, but if it had gone perfect, I think the game might be very different right now. And Samsung, after this Baron buff ends, should still get one last chance. They are pretty far behind, but it's not 5 dragons just yet. They can try to make a fight at the 5th dragon. Of course, Easyun will be that huge bane, and Marin, we saw that Zonia's being completed earlier, has another easy large rod. So all eyes on Fury now for Samsung, and he did some good damage onto Marin, but it wasn't enough.
Yeah, Samsung just backing off right now. They can't fight this while the Baron buff is up, and they may be able to buy themselves just a little more time here. SKT probably can't take another inhibitor off of this buff, but yeah, Samsung, it's just a matter, it seems like when they play teams that we think of as being more skilled than them, like the Ku Tigers or
Whoa, as Bang just goes forward with the Valkyrie, gets a lot of burst out into Crown, but takes a lot himself, and Crown going back forward just to help clear the wave a little bit with that Orb of Deception. Is going to Spirit Rush back and walk all the way to base before returning. Marin is now here, has that Equalizer, but no minions left for SKT, so it's going to be some time before this inhibitor turret goes down in mid lane.
Yeah, and like I was saying, Samsung, they play well, they have a good strategy, but when it comes down to it, if you can just drag the game out long enough against them, they will make a critical error, whether it's one of decisions or one of executions like we saw. They're going to go in again,
he goes in and gets a 3-4-man ultimate, but it's just even. CuVee, no damage follow-up, and Fury finally coming up. QSS on the Hemoplague, so he's not taking any amplified damage, but he just isn't in range to do damage to any of these enemy champions. Look at that Equalizer denying the escape and forcing everyone to ditch CuVee on the side of Samsung.
Yeah, that was a nice try. Crown not there, neither was Marin, but Marin comes in with the Equalizer in the end. And they pushing forward right now. Super minions in the base. Fury trying to get some damage down while he can, but Easyhoon just quickly turning it around. That transfusion healing right back up.
Yeah, Fury just not doing that much damage anymore. Has that last Whisper, has the Bloodthirster for the extra shield and sustain.
Well, it's hard for him to do more damage than he's doing right now. The only thing he can get is a Mercurial Scimitar.
Yeah.
Or upgrade his upgrade to a Phantom Dancer from that Static Shiv. It's about all you're going to get. And so if he's not doing enough now, just through the sustain of Easyhoon, that means he's never going to do enough.
Yeah, I really do wonder if push comes to shove, if Fury might have to consider actually selling that QSS and going for another damage item.
4,000 HP Vlad.
Yeah, I mean, the QSS, sure, you're not dying as quickly, but that Vlad ain't going anywhere if all you're doing is clearing out his Hemoplague on you.
He can just dive forever too, as long as his Ghost is up. You're not going to escape him. He will just hunt you down in the end.
Well, Ghost is down for this fight, and Fury returning with the Fur enchantments on his boots, so this should allow him to get a little bit more mobile to put out more damage across the fight. But with the Equalizer, I mean, Marin's been on point to make sure Fury doesn't get that chance. He can dash in and out to do sustained damage with his auto attacks. Dragon's going to come out. It's going to go down really quickly by SKT, but SKT, they know they can also just win the fight handily, and they have the speed from the Scuttle Crab. Poke coming in from Bang, and yeah, they're just going to keep Samsung at bay as the minion wave starts to form at bottom. And look at that Dragon getting bursted down. CuVee marching forward, though. They're trying to deny it, and Wraith goes forward, and 3-man pulverize. Equalizer onto Fury. Yet again, though, on the top side. Charm onto Easyhoon. Explosive cast go down. Eve does steal the Dragon. There's the culling. Not really hitting anyone at that point. Fury nearly at full health, but gets slowed down as Bang comes over the wall. There's the pulverize, though. Wraith keeping Fury alive at all costs, and CuVee keeping Tom behind. Now, Marin and Easyhoon are very healthy. Crown does get a charm as Fury
Fury's
comes in
full
from
HP.
behind, and he's going to go onto Marin. Marin turns around, and the Zhonya's Flamesplitter will pick up the kill. Can Fury get the revenge kill onto Marin? Should be able to. There's the body slam from Tom, trying to save his teammate, but it's not going to happen. Fury, one more hit. Oh, he's not going to get it. He hits the ward. He dashes forward, and with his passive, gets the double kill. And
Here
here's
we go.
Easy, the ultimate boss. One hit, two hit.
Wow, Fury actually life-stealing off that ward right there just to get a little bit more. Easy doing the same thing. He's got to run. Fury's very strong right now.
Yeah, Easy can't.
Another life-steal. He wants to get... No, he's not going to pursue this. That's probably smart. He needs to go save his base.
Yeah,
but some impressive mechanics for Fury in that last fight. Bang, flashing way too aggressively and getting destroyed by Fury in the 1v1 right around the backside of the pit.
Yeah, I mean, sure, Bang got the advantages the previous couple of fights, but he's not going to get it this
Great
time.
pulverize to start that one off. Again, Fury starts the fight having to run around in circles thanks to Marin, but Eve gets the smite down, wins the battle, and then a culling to get the initial damage. Hemoblade will go down. Fury actually cleansed it, and then now Bang flashes over, but Wraith, great combo to keep him CC'd while Fury got the necessary damage. And then from this point, it was a little bit of cleanup. Fury goes and takes the red buff right there just to heal up, get that buff, and then heads back right onto Marin.
Yeah, Crown getting caught, was relying on the headbutt. CuVee does eventually go down, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, he just gets chased down with Qs and Es.
Yeah, with the Ghost activated, and then he realizes he can't really fight Fury too reliably at this point. So Fury has hit that critical point now. He has a Mercurial Scimitar on top of it. He's at that last Whisper. He has all the damage he can get, and now it's all a matter of just maybe upgrading based on situation.
It is amazing that Fury can make these plays in this game. He is showing what a quality AD carry he is.
Yeah, 7-2-2 in a game where you are 11,000 gold behind.
Look at this. Wraith has a banner as well, so they're trying to create some split push threat on the map just to last it out.
That is brilliant.
Can they get to 6 items here where this gold lead really won't mean a whole lot?
Crown also has that second easily large rod. SKT looking for another fight. Now Baron is up, so if Samsung loses even one member, SKT pretty much will finish the game at 50 minutes in.
Well, their inhibitor's back up now, so that's not going to be a
true.
threat anymore. They have side wave pressure. All Samsung has to do is be patient right here.
Oh.
They don't want to face check this.
No.
They
Fury has his Scrying Orb, so he can check it over
They have
the
a
wall.
ward in the pit, too.
Yeah,
so.
Marin's going to show up, gets the harpoon onto CuVee, gets the slow after taking the Banshee's Veil down, and there is a nice headbutt back onto Tom. Eve comes in from the back and completely eliminates the threat, and the culling goes down onto Wolf. Wolf is down, no Monsoon available for SKT. They cannot disengage as reliably. They're just going to have to get out. Easyon actually using Ghost to ensure that he can get back to the turret.
They have to deal with the super minion or the buffed minion in the top side right now.
This tier 2 and mid is definitely going down, but what about the top lane? How are they going to react to this from SKT? They have to split somehow. And
now, can they do Baron is the question. Marin's TP is up.
Ooh, Tom.
40 seconds. They can try.
They could try it, but this, I mean, this could really end the game.
TP, okay, they're going to try a TP. They're going to bait it and try and TP in and kill them.
All right, well, they have to clear the ward first. They're going to go ahead and put the pink down there. Started
Bait
the Baron.
There's a TP.
Yeah,
TP.
Marin's coming in too. Both TPs coming in from the side. Now, Marin isn't home guarded, and CuVee just runs right into Tom, so Samsung has to disengage from the Baron, and that's all SKT wants. They lost the tier 2, but that's the only thing they lose. Oh, an equalizer to make sure Samsung can't start it again. Does a lot of damage with the Rylai's on top of it. Fury just life-stealing off the blue. They're going to try to give it over to Crown. They succeed in doing so.
Fury doesn't have a lot of mana anymore,
Yeah.
however, and they managed to get to a point where Wolf is back up. Wolf actually buying an elixir of sorcery right now. It's the point in the game we've come to, apparently.
Well,
he has the Zeke's Herald as well for Bang.
Wolf just really wants those cooldowns to make sure that he can protect his teammates, especially Bang. I mean, Easyon can kind of fend for himself for quite a long time.
Well, coming into this match, SKT did give some respect to Samsung, saying that they weren't going to treat them lightly, that they thought they were a good team, and Samsung's record may be 1-3, but they've been able to hang in there in the best of threes, and it's not really reflecting how well they played in some of these games, and they've made mistakes this time, which have led to this gold deficit. deficit, but they've been so tenacious. And just in terms of individual play, Fury really delivering, and Bang playing overly cocky to close out this game. Now, SKT still knocking on the door with the 5th Dragon. They still have a massive advantage in this game, and we'll see if their play, they're going to have the crab up when the Dragon spawns this time. That is huge.
It is pretty big, and SKT, I mean, that's the advantage of having 4 Dragon stacks, is that you know that the enemy is forced to make a call every time and spawns again. Oh, Fury almost getting caught by Bang, and there's a Equalizer coming down. He flashes out of it, and there's a QSS. It has to be used. A big one coming in. The Charm instantly cleansed on the side of Bang, but Crown takes a buttload of damage from Marin.
Well, that's probably going to be it. There, you just blew your flash on your AD carry and the QSS. We'll
but Eve goes in for the flank. 4-man ult. CuVee goes in, and there's the calling onto Wolf. But Marin coming in from the side. Fury turns around. He dashes out of the flame spitter, but can he get the damage onto Marin? He gets it. He's still alive. Easy at full health, though. Bang at about half health. And Wraith is going to have to run away alongside Eve. He's going to have to protect his teammate, but Ezio coming in with the Ghost. Fury just trying to lifesteal as much as possible. The Ghost does run out from Ezio. Oh, but he gets the Q over the wall, and that should be the game in favor of SK Telecom.
Well, SKT a little bit sloppy in those later game team fights. They're not even going to go for that Dragon, just pushing up the middle. Wolf is here with the Sorcery Potion. He's going to deal a lot of true damage with that, actually. He's going to kill him eventually.
Eventually, he'll catch up. Well, just trying to deny him from returning to base as CuVee and Eve do everything they can to fight this off. Tom taking a lot of tower damage, but it's better than Bang taking it. And Bang's actually pretty low. Doesn't have that mana, so Eve, does not escape. Gets hit by the last rocket. And, Wraith has successfully dodged the Wind Lady. The heal is doing a lot of work for him. And it should still be the game. 20 seconds until Crown comes back up. I don't think CuVee and Wraith can block, especially with Tom with that beautiful body slam to make sure they secure it. Bang just focusing down the Nexus. And SKT picks up the win in game number 1 after a long 54-minute game.
Still, you got to give some props to Samsung for holding in there for